Hello, and welcome to the Joy of Painting Middle-earth. I'm Timbo Took, and I thank you for joining me. Now, if you've been part of our fellowship before, and you've painted with us, thank you for coming back. I really do appreciate that. Now, if this is your first time with us, normally you would see a blank white canvas, or sometimes a black canvas, right behind me, ready to be painted. But today we're doing something a little bit different. Today we're going to come in and we're going to take a painting we've already done together, and we're going to see if there's areas we can improve on it. And I just wanted to show you that you can go back into a painting once it's dry, and we can put some color right on top of it and hopefully bring out more details. Now, after we finished this painting and it dried and I got to looking at it, it really didn't have the darks that I wanted for this one. There's not much separation between those darks and the lights, and it really turned out to be a pretty dull story. And that's not the way it is in the book. Weathertop is a very exciting place, and the events that take place there in the book are much more ominous than our painting shows, and I'd like to bring more of that out in the story. They say every day is a good day when you paint, but not every painting is going to be a good painting. And while this was good enough, there were a lot of distractions that day, if you remember. I was fighting the sun, trying to race it, get my painting done before it set. There was an unexpected party next door where I don't think there was many attendees, but there was at least one big bass drum, and it kept going boom, 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 boom. It was like the Mines of Moria. The Mines of Moria. That would be a fun painting to do. We should do that together sometime. But you'll also remember there were the fighting ducks. That's right, the ducks were fighting and making a lot of noise. At least that's what we're going to call it. Okay, let's get to our painting today. As I said, it's not very dark and ominous. So one of the things we want to do is give more of a separation between darks and lights. And also we may change the shape of the mountain a little bit too. So we have a lot of things we can do today, and I think it'll be quite a fun painting. So what I've done is I've got my colors on the palette, and we're going to maybe lighten it up behind there and then come in with some darker clouds over the top. So what we want to do, I want to make more of a yellowish orange light that is behind it that we can highlight it with. So I'm going into my yellow, and I'm just going to grab some of that alizarin crimson, and I must have had some blue on my brush, a lot of blue on my brush. That gave me green. We don't want green in the sky. I didn't wash this brush good enough. There we go. And I'm not painting out of doors again. I'm painting in the hobbit hole, so I can't just beat the sauron out of the brush against the easel like I like to do. But I do have a rubbish bin I can do that in. Now, let's take off that green that we just mixed together. Okay, let's mix our color again. This painting, it may be cursed. Oh, things just don't seem to go right. Which is funny, because this is one of the few paintings that I've actually done before and practiced. Oh, I tell you what, get a little bit of that alizarin crimson in there, and we're just going to look for a golden kind of yellow. Maybe try and get it a little more orange. Okay, let's just go up to our canvas. And we're just going to mix some of that right on there. Don't worry too much. Put one of your big hobbit feet on your easel if you're being a little too rough. There we go. Maybe get a little more. There we are. Maybe even put some of it down here by our mountain. This is okay. We're going to go right over the top of this. And just bring it out lightly. There we go. Let's wash off this brush now. Okay. So now that we've put that bright in the sky, I want to make these corners a bit darker. So we're going to go right into our black. Maybe grab some of that phthalo blue. There we go. There we go. We're going to come up and we're going to darken the edges of the sky. Ooh, look at that. You might think, oh, that looks too dark, Timbo. You're losing your mind. No, we are not. Well, maybe we are. But if we are, this episode will just go onto the scrap heap and you won't see it. But if you're watching it, that means it turned out okay, so I wouldn't be too worried. Okay, there we go. We're just giving ourselves, these would be some dark clouds in the back. Right across here like that. There we go. We'll just mix this together. There we go. Bring that right on. There we go. This is like those clouds that just hang there. Just hang there being very dark. There we go. We're just going to go into some of our titanium white. Some of our titanium white. There we go. We're just going to make the cloud a bit more gray. So we'll come in. There we go. Let's lighten that up even more. Now, we'll just mix it up on this end. There we go. Just get our white on there and let's come back in. And we'll just add some of that light into the clouds. There we go. There we go. See, now it's giving us much more of a dynamic contrast. Ooh, that's a big word, dynamic contrast. I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I don't really. Okay. There we go. There we go. Just mix that in there. Just give us all those little things. All those little things up there playing in the clouds. There we go. Now, let's see if we can't lighten this up even more. Okay, now we'll take a clean brush. Hopefully, I haven't been too good at cleaning my brushes lately, but we'll take a clean brush and we'll just blend this down a bit. There we go. smash it too much, but just help blend those colors together. There we go. Now, I'm going to go to my fan brush and let's put some clouds right in there. Just mix up on that fan brush. Just get some of your titanium white. Come back up. Now we can just circle in some of these closer clouds that haven't turned too gray yet. If you pick up some of that yellow, just knock it off and go back to your white. There we go. Some of these are layered right in front there. These clouds are just passerbys, They say, I don't want to be part of that big old storm brewing in the back. And maybe we have one up a little higher up here. There we go. There we go. Now, maybe, just that extra that's on your brush. Just mix it in throughout. There we go. There we go. Just use your fan brush to circle it in. Just give some ranges of light. There, and already our sky is starting to tell a darker story for us. So, clean off that fan brush. Okay. Now, we're just going to grab our 1-inch brush and we're going to blend these in a little bit. So, we'll start with this one right in the middle. Just taking the bottom edge of that cloud. Just blend this in, blend it in. Leave the top edge of the cloud. We'll lift that as we go. Now, just knock some of that paint off your brush, and now we're going to come back. I'm actually going to go to my 2-inch brush, and we're just going to lift these clouds. There we go. Just lift them up. Be the wind that's blowing past. There we go. These clouds, these lighter clouds, they want to get out of there before the storm breaks loose. They know it's coming. Clouds are smart. Don't let anybody tell you different. They may try to play dumb, but they know what you're thinking. So, once we do that, just come back and we'll just soften that out. There we go. There we go. There we are. Now, maybe these clouds, maybe there's some other gray ones that have joined them a little lower. So we'll just make up another gray cloud, gray layer that we can put down right in front of some of these other clouds, because they're catching the sunlight in the back, and their friends who are traveling right in front of them aren't catching that sun at all. There we go. There we go. These clouds have a light side and a dark side. Sometimes it's fun to be on the light side. Sometimes it's fun to be on the dark side. There we go. Just put some of those, just circle them in. Okay, now we'll do the same with these clouds. We'll just come in and just do soft circles to smooth them out. Mix them together a little. There we go. Not too much. And come back to our 2-inch brush, and we'll do the same with these. With these, just lift and brush. Lift and brush. That just blends them together. Those are the kinds of clouds that tell the best stories. There we go. Okay. Now we've changed our sky quite a bit, and you can see from the painting we started with to this one now, we're looking at a much different story. You would feel a lot less comfortable there now, but let's add some other details. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to work on these mountains in the back. We didn't give much shape or definition to them the first time, so let's change that. They are on the dark side of the sun. So we're just going to go to our colors, put some blue, put some red, and with our black, just to give it some personality. You know what? I'm going to scrape this yellow off of here too. We don't need that right there. He'll cause us some trouble. I know he will. I got rid of that red that was making all the trouble, and that yellow took its place. There we go. So, we just bring it down, cut a row off our knife, and we shall come up. There we go. Just going to put a darker back to this one. Get that row on the knife and come up and bring them down. Just keep that edge as nice as you can. Scrape that down into the painting. Now this paint underneath, I didn't put too much of a liquid clear on there. If you really want it to go smooth, you put a liquid clear over that, and that'll help your painting go. But sometimes when I'm trying to show you, the liquid clear can just make it so shiny you can't even see it. But it does mean without that on there, it does make it harder for this paint to come right off so evenly. There we go. Just giving our mountain a little bit of definition there. Not too many details are going to be back here, but let's go on this side and do the same. Come over here. Maybe this one comes up and hides that cloud a little bit. There we go. Grab some more. And those are very far off in the distance. There we go. Now we'll just come back to our 1-inch brush. And we're going to go back and we're going to pull these mountains down. Now, these ones that are closer to Weathertop would actually be the ones that are further away. So we'll start with them. And just, we're not doing too many details here, but we're just trying to give an idea that these mountains have some shape to them. Just mix that dark color right down, just right over the others. Do the same on the other side. There we go. Just pull this down. There we go. Now, we want to create a little mist at the base of those mountains. So we're just going to tap in some of our titanium white. And we're just going to come here, tap it in. So what we'll do is now we'll clean off that brush. Now we've cleaned off the brush. So just lift this mist, just lift it and pull it. It's just a misty area. Just tap it right up, off in the distance. Tap some of it up into your mountain and bring some of your mountain right down into the mist. There we go. Let's do the same on the other side. Just tap it in, bring it right up your mountain, and just pull it across. There we go. That is an area that it would be easy for the Nazgul to sneak up in. And they are quite the sneaks. And just bring some of that mist right down over your grassy area. Get some more. And we're making this just a misty, foggy evening right at sunset. Oh, right over the top of my Timbo on there. That's okay. That is okay. So we just mix this, and it's very transparent, so you can still see the details underneath. But well, if you put it on transparently, if you put it on a little thicker, you can't see through it. Sometimes I need just to stop saying what I'm trying to do and just do it. Because it seems like if I say what I'm trying to do, the canvas knows this one's tricksy. It wants to throw me for a loop. Okay, now we may come back and put some more mist in later, but that gives us pretty good just some personality to those mountains. They just make it seem like it wouldn't be the best place to go. There we are. So you can see this is really coming together, but we still need to work on the main focus, Weathertop. But before we do that, let's just come to our gray rock color, and let's just put just the hint of some light hitting that mountain face. Leave the other side darker where it is. That would be the side that doesn't see much of the sun. But we can just tap in a little bit of color so it's not just a flat black back there. There we go. And we'll do the same on the other side. There we are. Just do that with a stony gray color. There we go. That way it's not just one dark color back there. There's a little bit in there, but not too much. Not too much detail. Okay, let's get to work on Weathertop. That's right. And the first thing we're going to do is we didn't have any real dark color in there. No deep shadow. And that made it pretty bland. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this dark color we mixed up. We'll make more if we need, but we are just going to come up and we are going to give this some more personality. Just let that dark. We've got that paint that's already on there and it's already dried. And what that does, that gives us bumps and crevices that our dark color can just hide right in. So we're really giving it more depth right now. There we go. And we'll come back and highlight it as we go. There we go. And we can even change the shape of our mountain if we want another area to come up right here. There we are. Bring that down. There we go. And you see how this is just filling in, giving us, oh, and it gives us the striations in the rock. There we go. Okay, bring this, give us some depth in here. Now there is a path up this hill. These rocks are almost like steps, and there's a path that comes this way and back, and that's how you get up to the top. This is an old watchtower. Oh, very old watchtower. Let's mix up some more. Our dark color, but give it some personality. Give it some phthalo blue, and we'll take some alizarin crimson in there, and that'll make it dark, but not just a flat dark. It gives us some personality. There we go. Cut it across. And again, we'll just come here and now we've already got some layers and things put down there. So if we just pull it down, it'll give us, just pull it straight down, it'll give us those layers of rock. And we'll come back and highlight these again, as I said. But this really gives us some dark, dark shadows in there. Oh, there we go. And we'll change our edge here. Look at that. There we go. Now, some of these rocks, they've formed, and there's almost this natural crack that goes right up it. There we are. Let's give ourselves, there we go. That one comes up there. We'll do another one right here. And it may look like we're just making a mess all over the mountain. But as I said, we'll come back in and we'll put some lights on top of those darks, and that'll really highlight it. Okay, now let's do a little bit more work up here. There we go. Now our ruins that are on top here. We need to put some dark down, and then we can change the color on that. There we go. And you'll see, once we come back and we start putting in our stone color, that'll help just really bring it out. There we go. Just push that right onto your canvas. There we go. This old watchtower tumbled down long ago, but it was built on top of this flat hill because it makes such a good lookout. Now, those smaller spots just come with that short edge of your blade. And just put that in. There we go. You see, so that's why we weren't worried when we were putting that yellow for the sunset right over there, and it turned the gray rocks green. They would have a little bit of that green to them anyways, with all the moss and things that grow here. There we go. Just use up the rest of that dark color here. And the lights that we do have on there, those will just give us an idea of where we want to come back in. There we go. Okay. There we are. We've added plenty of darks on there. Now, I'm going to go to our filbert brush, and we are going to make up, just go right into some of that dark with some of our titanium white. And at first we're going to have a little bit of just a darker shade of gray, and we'll come back and lighten it up even more wherever our highlights are needed. And we'll see if this works. We may have to thin out our paint a bit because, as you know, a thick paint won't stick to a thin paint. And put some in here. There we go. Just putting some of our gray right over the dark. Just mixing that up. Just on our small brush here. Go right over the top, where it would be, closest to the light. And you see we're picking up some of that black comes off, but as long as we give good details going down, that's what we want. That is what we want. So come here. Let's even give some highlight on the rocks up here. On our ruins. There we are. And just that separation of dark and light, that plays well into our story. And that way you're able to tell a good story with your painting. There we go. Just work that in. These are little details. a lot of times when you're doing a painting fast that you may want to come back and put in at a later time. And this is how a lot of painters spend their whole days just putting in lots of these details. And you can too. That's not a wrong way to do it. We just like to show if you want to sit down and do a whole painting in one session, you can. There we go. Now, we can even come back to our palette knife. And let's make up the highlight color for our watchtower up top. There we go. Let's just give these stones a highlight here. There we are. Just pull from the same side. There we go. You just tap it on. Over to this tower. There we are. And we can even go on the top of our rock here. There we go. Just mix some more of that up. There we go. Now let's make some of our rock here. These almost like steps right into the side of the mountain. If you have too much on there, just scrape it off. Just put these layers of rock. Just put it down. There we go. Very quickly. Very quickly. And that looks like that rock was laid down, whether over a long period of time or by a volcano all at once. There we go. You can see those layers just pop right through. Oh, that was too thick. That's okay. We don't make mistakes, just happy accidents. There we go. Some over here. Maybe we even want to put on the edge. There we are. Go to the smaller part of our knife. There we go. Now, I'm going to pick up my smaller fan brush. And now let's mix up some grass that we can put along there. Maybe grab a little bit of that phthalo blue darken this up to a dark green, and we'll come over and highlight it. There we are. Okay, now we're going to put some of our darker grass in there. Might have to dip into our paint thinner. Just thin some of it up so it sticks better to the canvas. There we go. I don't know what went on there. Let's just pull some of that off. You have a big patch of grassy green right there. Some down at the bottom. There we go. There we are. Now let's lighten that up a bit. Do some more yellow in there. There we go. Maybe grab some of our white just to dull it down so it looks more like a grass that's grown and been there a very long time. And it's starting to dry out. There we go. Now remember, these vivid colors, as your paint is going to dry, your vivid colors will start to get more dull. So if you put them on and you feel, oh, that's really bright, just after a few weeks when you look at it, it'll be dulled down a bit. So not to worry, not to worry. And then as time goes by, if you still feel it might be too bright, hasn't dulled down enough, then you can go back over it and just darken it out. I just wanted to show you today how we can go back to a painting that we called finished, and we can put in some more details again that we feel make it a more complete painting. This tells a better story than I think the first one did, but that's okay. If you like the first one, you can leave it like that. It's all what you think. Don't let anybody else steal your joy. And they can't. Do you know that? Nobody can steal your joy. Now, Tolkien, a lover of languages, he would tell you that happiness depends on the circumstance. It has something to do with the roots of the language. But in order to be happy, things have to have good circumstances. But joy comes from the spirit. That comes from your heart. Nobody can take that. Even when circumstances are very bad, nobody can steal your joy. Nobody can take that away from you. That comes from the spirit. There we go. There we go. Just put some of these colors in. Just having that dark underneath. Just that play between dark and light tells the best stories. There we go. Now let's even take more of our yellow. More of that yellow. Let's mix a lot of that yellow in there. And even our white. We're wanting to use a lot of this up. Maybe we just go back down to the yellow. There we go. There we go. Take that. Oh, that brush is a mess. Oh, what a messy brush. I'm being a slob today. That's okay. I'm just going to use this more yellowish. Just dull it down a bit and give more differences in the color. And this yellow is that's just your dried grass that's been growing for a long time. And now it's having trouble growing fresh new grass. There we go. And this grass grows right up the side here on that path. There we are. And as I said, as the weeks go by and you look back at your painting, it'll dull a little bit and it won't be as vibrant. And you go, oh, I thought I had made that too bright. But no, you did it this way and it turned out just right. That's it. That's it. Maybe put some of that up here. Some of that is growing right up there. Right in that spot. Knock some of that paint off. Right on top there. And this little lookout area. Maybe there's a grassy spot there. There we go. There we go. Now you can come down and you can add more details and things into this area. I kind of like that fog being down there. That turned out pretty good. I do like that. That's where we're going to leave it today. I'm pretty happy with that. We were able to darken it up and make the story. When you look at that painting, it gives you a little shiver. That's right, because you know the story. You know what happened to Mr. Frodo up there. Now, I hope you enjoyed today, and I hope you didn't mind that I just went back to an old painting. I promise next week we'll get back to a fresh canvas and do one brand new for you. But I wanted to show you. It's okay. It's your world. You can do what you want. You can go back in. You can make changes. There are no mistakes, just happy accidents. And as I said, when I originally did it, there were a lot of distractions that day. So as I got to look at it a week, 2 weeks after, I thought, I think I can do a better job for you. And I did that for you because I wanted you to enjoy it as much as I know you can. Thank you very much for joining me. Goodbye and God bless.